Hello everyone, I'm jumping straight into it. I'm going to have a long rant in a minute, but for the time being, here's a cutscene. Or, you know, when it loads. Oh, come on. I want to start chatting shit. Okay, here we go. See you in a second.
Our foe is more devious than we imagined. That spire was indeed a teleporter linked to a cloaked Covenant supercarrier, a grave threat. Thankfully, help is imminent. 60% of the UNSC fleet is en route to Reach from existing deployments. The first battle group should arrive within 48 hours.
48 hours? That's imminent? Uh-oh. Who's your money on this time?
Her.
You always pick her.
She's always had him dialed in.
That thing's crushing us and we're waiting for backup. They'll be backing up a graveyard.
All our nukes are either out system or went down with the ships that carried them. You're preaching to the converted.
How converted?
I know that look, Cat.
You can say no.
No.
You don't even want to hear it.
Fine, I'll hear it.
Remember that accident a couple years back? Colony ship en route to Cygnus, 700 dead.
Vaguely a slip space drive malfunction, right?
Actually, it worked fine. The drive was mounted improperly after a service haul-out. When it fired, it teleported half the ship to oblivion.
This is relevant. How?
A certain Covenant supercarrier could, with some assistance, suffer the same unfortunate accident.
Even for you, Cat, that's
Inspired?
not the word I would use.
What's going on?
Go ahead. Explain.
May I?
Don't cut yourself.
Objective, destroy Covenant carrier in geosynchronous orbit above us.
This sanctioned, sir.
What do you think?
Oh,
Method, a slip space drive in lieu of the nukes we don't have. Delivery system, us. Solvable, getting us up there. That and getting our hands on a slip space drive. Thank you for sharing.
So, all we need is orbit-capable transport and the single most expensive piece of equipment made by man.
As a soldier in the field, I couldn't possibly have access to those kinds of resources. That said, a good place to look might be, I don't know, the nearest non-existent launch site in the non-existent Saber program dismissed by 3 administrations as preposterous rumor, and in which our newest member was certainly never a pilot.
It's scary. You know that.
All we need is a green light from Holland.
Good luck with that.
You're the one asking him.
Well, there's no way in hell he's gonna go for this.
I'm sure there's another cutscene here. I don't know if there's any talking. Hey, it's my birthday in 500 odd years. 550 years, actually. Yay, fun times. There we go, fun fact. Right, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no more talking. Now I've said that, they're about to say something, right? Yeah, hang on 2 seconds.
bit of a hike to the launch facility.
Any closer is too hot to land.
Copy that, Commander.
Move up the beach, Noble.
Right, so is this still recording? Yeah, it's good, right. So, yeah, today, it's been alright, I suppose. I've been chatting to this girl. Right, yeah, there's a girl involved, alright, calm your tits. And, like, incredibly, I don't know, she's like, if she watches this video, she's probably gonna be, like, cringing all over it, but, like, she's so beautiful, and she's pretty badass, and I'm not about to get all emotional and depressed on her, but, no, I'm not. That elite just get crunk. I don't care. I'm not gonna talk about Halo in this video. Yeah, like, I've been chatting to her today, which is so cool. Like, doesn't really matter. I don't really know her all that well, but, you know, early days. However, tonight I was watching the Philip DeFranco show, which you may or may not have heard of. It's basically this bloke in America who likes to do a sort of news show thing in a jokey, comedy kind of way. which is, you know, all cool. But I was about to go to bed, and I saw he uploaded a video, so I went to watch it. In case you're wondering, I'm really quiet because it's like almost 2 in the morning. Yeah. So I was about to go to bed, and I watched it, and he brought up Todd, is it? I don't know, but it is, if you're unfamiliar with the story, it's been in the press pretty badly. I'd say it's been in the press quite a lot recently. I hadn't heard of, well, I'd heard of it, sort of, but I didn't know what it was until today, like, exactly. Like, today at college, you know, it was a pretty cash day. I was happy with it, it was all cool. I'm not talking about the game, like, never again, on another word, until we get the 2 ads, which is in like 2 seconds. Where was I?
Everybody inside, more hostiles on the way.
Yeah, like, it was an alright day, but I got home and I was on Facebook, and it's one of those pictures, it's like if you would never bully her, or you know who she was, you may or may not have seen it, you may not even be aware of what I'm on about at the moment, but yeah, it was there. And so I kind of knew something was up.
Controls right through that door, Commander.
Then I was watching the Philip DeFranco show, and he featured it, and he went into depth about what it was, and basically, if you don't know, there was this girl who was on Omegle or something, talking to this guy, and him being a paedophile or whatever he happens to be, he asked her to show him the goods, if you want to put it that way. All pretty space rocket.
And dates pad, by the way, just like, you know, read it. What about you and Cat?
So this is all cash, okay, like, do what you want on me. But it turns out that this guy was videoing it, and he used it to blackmail her, and she wouldn't go through with it because she didn't believe him, or some reason or another, I'm not completely aware. And then he made like several Facebook pages and stuff, adding all of her friends, and then she got bullied and stuff, and in the long run she killed herself. But with the friend that I was talking to earlier, it just sprung off all of these different thoughts, and I just watched this video and I just got into bed and I just couldn't sleep. This was only like 20 minutes ago that I got into bed. I got into bed and then I just got up again like 5 minutes later thinking I can't sleep. I'm gonna make a video, I'm gonna chat some shit to people who I've never met before, even though all of my subscribers are people I've met apart from 1 or 2. I don't know. But I'm gonna talk to myself for a bit and yeah, hope I relieve myself. But this isn't a podcast, so you can fuck yourselves if you want to listen to it. I'm sure there's loads of videos about it because it's space mission. Yeah, but this girl who I've been talking to, she just made me think a lot of the girl that was on the news, because they're both of similar age, and while I don't know very much of this girl, my friend one, not the one that's been on the news, she seems a lot like, I don't want to say a similar person, because she's really nice and emotionally, as far as I'm aware, incredibly strong, and it's all good, but I don't know. She's and another thing, well, I say, like, initially,
I'll be your
I
control from
was
here on
thinking
out.
about my friend
Understood.
because
Double six,
she
these sabers
wants
have
to
been
be,
customized for orbital defense.
I say a
You may
detective,
need to get
she's doing
reacquainted.
psychology,
Rendezvous at
or
Anchor
she wants to
9
do
with Frigate
psychology,
Savannah and the other sabers as soon as you're ready.
and she wants to, like, work with criminals, get inside their mind, work out what kind of people they are, their possible ulterior motives, any medical conditions that they may suffer in their head. You know, all that stuff. And I was originally thinking, if I was ever like a detective, that was because back in the day I used to want to be a policeman, which I'm still kind of considering, but at the moment I'm doing motor vehicles in college. Anyway, I'm starting to get sidetracked. I was thinking, if I was ever to be a detective and I was like in an interview room with a paedophile or something, I wouldn't be able to stop myself. I'd have to beat the living shit out of him. It's the best way I can put it.
We should head for the Savannah. Unidentified
It just
contacts.
kind of makes me sick.
Savannah actual
Like,
to Sabre teams. Be advised, we have bogies inbound.
people
Anchor 9 to all
like
UNSC
this
ships. Station
person
defenses are
just
down.
on the
Requesting
internet
combat
looking
support until
for
we can bring them
like
back
maybe a
online.
laugh or to make some friends, or I don't know why they were on Omegle or chat roulette or whatever it was, but they were. And then because of it, this guy is, I was gonna say ruined her life, but he hasn't. He's effectively murdered
Defensive
her.
batteries are at 56%. Hang in there, Sabre teams.
It's just, I don't know what's wrong with the world. Just really gets to me, especially on days like today. Like if I'm on a shit day and I hear something like that, I just spend the rest of the day listening to depressing music, doing whatever happens to be doable, probably being antisocial. Though if the chance comes around, I'll probably be social. But I don't know. The fact that I was having like a goodish day. If I was having a bad day, then it would be fine. Because, well, I say it would be fine. I make it sound like I don't care, which I do. Like, usually I'll take that kind of thing in my stride because I've seen a lot of shit in my time. I make it sound like I'm old for it, but you don't
Anchor
remember
9
half
are
of
to
it.
UNSC ships. Impulse drive signatures detected. Fighter class.
I wasn't
Heads up,
molested,
Sabres.
if that's what you're starting to think, by the way.
Saber teams, use your guns to take down their shields. Then hit them with your missiles.
Wait, where was I going? I said on
Defensive
a bad
batteries
day.
at 79%. Buy us another minute,
But there
Sabre
was
teams.
another bit. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with that. Yeah, on a bad day, well, on a normal day, it probably wouldn't faze me, but because I was chatting to this girl, it's kind of touched more to heart than it would have done any other day. And then the fact that my day wasn't that bad also doesn't help, because if I had a bad day, then I'll just spend the entire day working on the negatives, thinking, oh, it's all crap, blah blah, such and such, so do what, Bob's your uncle. And that would be fine, because I'm on the bus ride home, and for the last, I don't know, 5 hours I've spent at home, I would have been
Anchor 9
thinking
are to all
about my
craft in
bad
the
day.
vicinity. Be advised,
I'll
we should
have
have
loads
large
of
attack force
half-assed
inbound.
thoughts on
Combat air patrol and
how
Sabre
bad
teams
it was
are
or
directed to
wasn't.
engage at defense
And
station.
but because I didn't,
Anchor 9 to all UNSC
like, my head's
ships.
been clear,
Station
and the
defenses
only
are back
thing my
online.
brain power has
Clear
been
the lane.
focused on
Light 'em up.
is thinking about this terrible story. I say story, it's not a story, it was an event, it happened. I know. Just all of this shit just somehow hit me really hard. Like, I'm not getting all depressed about it, but I'm getting bad. Well, I say I'm getting bad. I make it sound worse than it probably is, but either way, I hope I've managed to shed some light on the subject if you are or aren't familiar with it, or I don't know. I think I'm going to start naming my episodes depending on their content. So, for example, it's still going to be full Halo story, Halo Reach, Mission 7, or whatever the hell we were on now. I know, I've really lost track. But it's probably going to be like Episode 6, The Pressing Cunt. For example, me talking about, is it Annabelle? Anna? I don't know, something beginning with A. Oh, now I feel like even more of a prick. I don't know, but
Anchor 9 to Saber teams.
somehow it's just kind of like affected the last, I was gonna say 20 minutes, but it probably hasn't even been that. Yeah, in the time between watching that video and coming on to actually do a recording, all I was doing was listening to some slightly depressing music. And, you know, that was it. Just to, you know, help the mood, make my video have more of a swing on your day. Probably gonna go back and look at this while editing, because with my editing I can only upload my voice audio in 8-minute chunks, so I have to like find different bits and I have to cut it off and repaste it at the beginning of another part, and so I'm probably just gonna look back and hear these bits and think, oh my god, you're such a prick, but it does, if I hadn't watched that video, I would have gone to bed and I would be sleeping safe and sound.
Anchor 9 to UNSC ships. All targets neutralized. Bravo 029,
listening to Foo Fighters or the raindrops on my window.
On to Bravo 029.
But I'm not. I got up and I'm making a video. My Xbox is really loud at the moment, so you might be able to hear that in the background. I'm going to have to cut that out. I might be a bit quiet as well, but I should be able to fix that with the wonders of editing. So I think I got my audio levels fixed as well.
Warning, M-Spec re-entry packet disengaged.
I need your override.
I'm going to shut up for a second.
M-Spec re-entry. Cockpit depressurization complete. Canopy release lever armed.
Max Sabadov Siba.
Noble 5, please repeat.
Pull up surface grid 19 by 22.
Gladly. Only sword base, sector 18G.
Verbal enhance.
Noble 5, your pulse is elevated. There is nothing you can do for Dr. Halsey and the others inside sword base. The mathematics are determinate. Noble 5?
I know.
Bravo 29, are you cleared to re-engage thrusters?
Double 6, this is Holland.
Go ahead, Colonel.
We've flagged a Corvette-class vessel on a predicted docking track with our target. Get our makeshift bomb on that Corvette, and we have our delivery system. Noble 5 will escort the bomb. I need your Saber team to clear the way for boarding.
Understood, Colonel.
As she's already donated her slip space drive to the cause, the Savannah will be joining you to provide local fire support.
UNSC Savannah. Our wings may be clipped, but we've got your back.
I've stuck my neck out for Noble on this one, Lieutenant.
We'll get it done, Colonel. 6 out.
Okay, so yeah, I was talking about audio level. I'm probably going to go back to the depressing bit in a minute, but I'm pretty sure I fixed my audio levels. Today I'm recording in standard definition because it would appear that my videos aren't coming out in HD, but if it doesn't come out in 480p on the other end after this one, I'll go back to recording in HD, because so far it's made absolutely fuck all difference. And if I record it like this, I can still play it through my television. so
Frigate
I
Savannah
don't
in position.
keeps
Saber
backing
team,
out
sound off.
everything.
Echo 1, all systems nominal.
Echo 2, good to go.
Echo 3, systems green.
Echo 4, all systems online.
I don't know, I'm
Solid
lost. I
copy.
was
We are
expecting
currently jamming the
the
Corvette's comms. Hit it hard while
story
I can't
about
call for help.
Amanda. It was Amanda, that was the name. I was expecting the story about Amanda to take me a lot longer to talk about, because I was sure I had a lot more stuff
Might want to clip her engines,
to
Colonel. See if we can
associate
slow her
well.
down.
I'm sure I had a lot more thoughts
That'll make boarding her a whole lot easier.
concerning
Noble
my
6,
friend
unmarking targets. Take out the
is of
Corvette's
similar
main
age and
engines.
such. I say of similar age, I'm 18. I'm pretty sure the girl who was on it was 15, was she? Was it 15 or 16? I don't know, I don't even know where she was from, but it just... I don't know. Just kind of... I really don't see how it's got to me quite so
Energy
badly.
flares detected in the Corvette's aft launch base.
It's not as if I'm
Heads up, Sabers.
off on
Multiple
a
impulse drive signatures detected.
depressing
More bogeys incoming. Echo 2 to
blare
Savannah
spree.
actual. Where are the
Blare spree.
reinforcements
What
coming from? I thought the
the hell
target
is
was
that?
jammed. Must be squadrons coming back from
I know.
patrol, Echo
It's
2.
not as if I'm
Don't let any of them get away,
gonna
Sabers.
go
Kill them before they
and slip
bug
my
out
wrists
and warn that
over this,
supercarrier what
but
we're up to.
just how can people do that kind of thing? I mean, to someone older, it's, you know, more understandable. I don't want to make it sound like it's in any way right, but a 15-year-old could... What would you blackmail her for? I mean, she hasn't got anything you can take from her. It's highly unlikely she's got any money. I mean, she's not going to have contacts or anything. I don't mean as in, like, eyeball glasses. I mean as in, like, people that she knows, if that makes sense. But... Oh. I would... What? I just... I'm lost for words. I'm just kind of shocked. Even with all of the stories and stuff, which usually just like fly by me. I don't know, if I hadn't heard about it, it would have been... I probably would be okay. You probably wouldn't get a video. Yes, I'm not uploading daily like I said I would. I know. Tomorrow I'm going to do like a massive Halo marathon and I'm going to record loads of stuff.
Structural weakness surrounding a platform
You know,
on top of
it'll
the
be all
vessel.
fun for you.
Noble 6, set down immediately on that Corvette's topside landing pad.
Because I'll have videos for you daily. But... I'm still lost for words, man. I'm just... Oh my god. I kind of feel bad as well, because I also know people of that age range who use similar, I was about to say they use similar,
Savannah's countermeasures won't work forever. Find a way inside and permanently disable that cruiser's communications.
well,
As
we
soon
use
as
the
we're sure
same
the Corvette
programs
can't
and
squawk,
stuff
we'll
to meet up
initiate
with random
uppercut
people.
phase 2.
And they're not in any way, you know, using it in the same way that this guy has, but I feel kind of like, wow, I died, really. I feel kind of like if I could help this person somehow, even though it wasn't in the press before then, like, I feel like if I could have helped them, I might have been able to help one of my friends in the future in one of their predicaments that they might possibly get in when they're on a meeting or chat with that or whatever. But yeah, as I was about to say, like, it wasn't in the press before she died, but like, which actually does kind of surprise me because she attempted suicide before she died. Well, I say she attempted and failed, and then she tried again and succeeded, which has led to the big press thing. Which, actually, thinking about it, I find kind of sick. In the, I want to be there, not in the chavvy horas badass kind of way.
Copy that. Halting
It's,
countermeasures, diverting all power and personnel to weapons.
All right, Noble.
Whether or
Let's
not
get that slip
she
space bomb on board.
tried to
6,
kill herself
head for the hangar.
makes no difference in this kind of context. Like, I mean, what if she just, like,
Colonel, on our way to the hangar.
in this event, there was a paedophile on the internet blackmailing her. This probably wouldn't have been in the news unless she had killed herself. Which, it's just... How do we live in that kind of society? And I'm starting to get all political on your ass at the moment, yeah, granted, but still. I mean, what the hell? Okay, nice collision mesh. And I think even if had she attempted suicide, I don't know if I already said this, I probably said it like 2 seconds ago, but had she attempted suicide and still not died, I don't think it would have been in the press. Which, I know, so if this somehow brings about like the end of internet pedophiles or whatever, then I guess this girl will kind of be a hero, but for the time being, she's just gone. I suppose something which really annoys me about it is that recently, like, I've been playing video games a lot less. Like, when I started this series, I was playing Halo, like, a ridiculous amount, but since my last episode, I played, like, hardly anything. I played, like, a little bit of Mass Effect. And I think that was at the weekend when they released, well, no, last week, on Tuesday, when they released the new DLC. Give me your gun. Yeah, so I've just been doing very little gaming, and so when I get out and I socialize, I've been enjoying it, like, a lot. Which, again, is good, but that's good for me, and for her, she, because of this blackmailing thing, she didn't have friends anymore or anything, because she was just, everybody at school was on her, like, for it, which, come on, we all make mistakes.
Try to get aboard, Colonel.
Copy that. 6, get your fire team to the bridge. The Corvette's refueling run with the supercarrier will have to be initiated manually.
Yes, sir.
I'm being quiet for a second.
5, stay with the bomb and discourage the curious.
My pleasure. Hear that, Lieutenant? I'll be all by my lonesome back here. Make it quick, would ya?
Fucking cutscenes. I wish I wasn't doing live commentary, otherwise this would be all casual. But it's just
that Corvette moving toward the supercarrier.
all of the enjoyment which, well, I say that I'm getting out of life because, like, I'm not really. But all of the enjoyment that I get out, just in the small bursts that I do, I'm not constantly going, yeah, life's awesome. But when I do, I'm like, yeah. When I do, put it that way. So it just to see someone do that kind of thing.
Savannah to Holland, sustaining major structural damage. We need to break off, Colonel.
Especially someone of such a similar age to me.
Disengage.
Because there's also people from around my area. Like, there was a girl who was schizophrenic who hung herself recently. But even then, she was schizophrenic, and so again makes it more understandable. It wasn't put on anyone else. It might have been due to long-term shock or stress, or I don't know what the causes are. I haven't studied psychology.
You're in deep with no cover. Get that Corvette moving and get the hell out of there.
Looks like the bridge, Spartan.
It's a mind bender, man. It just... I have no idea how to even approach the situation. Like... If I had a friend like that in that kind of situation, I would just... I would have to side with them, like, no matter who they were. I say no matter who they were, because I know some people who just deserve whatever they get, like, no matter how bad it is. Like, but if it was someone that I knew, if it was someone that I was aware of by name from college or school, and that happened to them, I would have to, like, be on their side instantly. I wouldn't go bullying them. I mean, can you think of that? Like, this person is just threatened to expose, like, naked images or information or something that could, like, towards your friends and family, because they can do that via Facebook and stuff. And then your friends come along, or who you thought were your friends, just come along and they almost penalise you for it. And suppose that's the best word I can come up with on the spot, but how can you... I don't know. I suffer bullying, but that's just fucking... I know. And then you... almost... from what it sounds like as well, it sounds like this girl probably wasn't even... She was probably quite a popular person before said event had occurred, like in school. So she was probably, like, you know, had a lot of friends, probably a bit of a player when it comes to the boys. I don't know, I've never actually seen her, but from the reports and the Philip DeFranco show and the few things that I've heard from it sounds like she was actually a really nice person who was just trying to, you know, have a laugh on the internet, or, as I say, I have no idea what she was trying to achieve, but she did it, so. I'm just trying to think of plausible reasoning, or what would... I don't know, it just makes me angry, like, beyond belief. I'm just, I don't know, I'm losing myself in my own head, so it's just all of these things fucking flying through my brain, none of which my mouth can keep up with. Apart from anything, I'm getting really dehydrated, my throat is getting so dry. Alright, another thought for you. Maybe she wasn't all that popular, because after everything I have heard and such, but why would she be exposing herself to someone on the internet? Why not, if you were popular, why not go out to do it with... I say go out to do it with people you know. I don't know if you get what I mean by that, but, like, if you're gonna go off, like, showing yourself to boys, do it to someone who you know or someone that you might like, or don't go and put yourself in that position. So maybe she wasn't the most popular, or maybe, once again, she was, and she was just bored, and she was looking for a laugh, or she'd been dead to do it, or just so many tiny things which could lead up to such a big event, like taking your own life in this case. Which is just so fucking crazy. fuck's sake. It's just... I don't even know anymore. I suppose one of the worst bits in it is as well, is because this girl reminded me, well, I say reminded me, seemed kind of similar to this friend of mine. It just makes me, like, wish that they don't go off and get drunk or do something and put themselves in the same position and then not talk to anybody about it until it gets to the point where everyone at school has found out, or they've already attempted suicide on one occasion. And it's just, I don't know. Something else that annoys me is that the police would have been informed when she would have attempted suicide the first time. Okay, so however she managed to have failed the first time, that makes no difference. The fact that she did should have been a key score as to... a key score? A key point as to having her not locked up, but under 24-hour surveillance.
Back up to the Sabres. Level 6.
Being watched up on and not left alone, though I suppose that might depend on whether or not she failed because of, like, someone found her, or I don't know, but this is getting too morbid. I'm leaving this here. I'm going to stop the commentary because I'm just getting over the top. There'll be the legendary dialogue thing in a minute. I'll let you watch this cutscene.
Well, I've got good news and bad news. This bird took some fire and her thruster gimbal is toast, which means the only way off this slag heap is gravity.
And the good news?
That was the good news.
At current velocity, 53 seconds to end point.
Yeah. Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this. Tell him to make it count.
See you on the other side, guys.
Slip space rupture detected.
Gamma station control, reading multiple pings below the orbital defense
Slip
grid.
space rupture detected.
Yeah, we're picking up anomalies too. Are you reading
Slip
it?
space rupture
Multiple
detected.
covenant signatures.
Slip space
Does anyone
rupture
have a big...
detected.
They're everywhere!
Slip space rupture detected.
The whole damn covenant,
Slip
please.
space rupture detected.